What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new video on PrizePicks. So something got Taco Tuesday plays for you guys. Right now, the Taco Tuesday plays haven't come out yet, but basically I'm just going to show you guys what I'm really planning for Taco Tuesday and how I really like to attack these tacos during football season, because I do have a system and I think you guys should know it, right? So before we get into the plays, if you guys could drop a like on this one, it would help me out a lot. We've been dropping a little bit in the views recently, but let's try to pick that back up as we go into the weekend. Drop a like, it really does mean a lot. Now, before I get into any plays, I want to talk about the winnable. This is where I send out my free picks, and I also send out VIP plays here as well. If you guys want to get on the winnable, just hit the link in the description. You guys can get on the free plan right here, and I will be sending out a bonus taco play, in a few hours once the taco plays obviously drop on the free plan for everybody to see. So, also, if you're on the VIP, good stuff. We cashed out our sportsbook play for 2 units, which was Chargers on the money line. Absolutely elite stuff. I mean, that game was way too easy. The Raiders didn't even score a touchdown, and the Chargers just blew them out of the water. Seems like a great Chargers team. Can't wait to keep winning money on them going forward. Now, let's go ahead and talk about some plays right here for the taco plays. First up, let's just look at this. We know Josh Allen is the better quarterback, right? But there is zero reason for his passing yards line to be higher than Tua's line. I don't get that at all. Tua is going to be throwing this ball a ton. The Bills are the better team. I don't know what the lines are right now. They're probably like 1 touchdown favorites, maybe even 10-point favorites. And if they're not, I'm taking them to cover the spread easily. The Buffalo Bills are way better than this Dolphins team, which means Tua is going to have to throw the ball. Look at what happened last week when the Jets, who everybody was kind of hyping up about, played against this Bills team who is very strong and was hungry. After that, they just had that huge win against the Ravens on Sunday night, week 1. What happened? Of course, Josh Allen did, not play the whole game. But what happened was they didn't need to throw the ball. James Cook ran the ball 21 times, had a lot of success. And then they also ran the ball with 6 players total. Ray Davis got himself 9 carries. Josh Allen, of course, picked up 6 carries. Elijah Moore, Ty Johnson, these guys picked up 2 carries apiece. And basically the receiving yards were just all on the unders. Almost everybody hit the under on the receiving yards except for Josh Palmer, who had 1 big catch, right? So that's what happens when you're leading a football game. Everybody's going to go on the under because you're not going to need to pass the ball, right? And let's look what happens at the Dolphins. This was a very back and forth game. A lot of scoring. The Dolphins had several drives where they needed to score and score fast. So what do? They passed the ball a ton. Tua got over 300 yards. Tyreek Hill went over. Devon Achane went over. Jalen Waddle went over. All of their main guys went over. And look at that. The rushing yards, not a lot, right? Devon Achane, their number 1 running back, only got 11 carries because they weren't running the ball a lot. They were needing to throw the ball a ton. I expect this to happen here in this Buffalo game, which means we're just going to pretend this Pat Mahomes is the taco play right now, but when the taco plays come out, which should be, by the time we're watching this video, the taco play should be out. I'm recording this at around noon. Lock this in with the taco, and then take Josh Allen on the under right here. And then I really like a lot of unders right here, but I'm probably just going to take Khalil Shakir, his supposed number 1 wide receiver. It's a little bit tricky to tell, right? I don't hate that. I also don't hate Josh Palmer right here on the under. What happens here is you get an 8.5x, right? So not terrible at all. But what I'd like even more is if we guys can go ahead and swap it on the other side and then take James Cook on the over on rushing yards. So what we're doing here is basically taking quarterback receiver on the under because we're saying they're not going to pass the ball a ton. And then we're swapping that on the other side and say if they're not going to pass the ball, what's going to happen? They're going to run the ball a lot. James Cook just had 132 yards. He looked like a demon against the Jets. I love him here on the over, right? 61.5 against the Dolphins team. Let's look at how this Dolphins team has been defending the run recently. They gave up 54 yards to Ramondre. They gave up 31 yards to Drake May. But this isn't a really great example because the Patriots were also throwing the ball quite a bit. If you look at the Dolphins in their first game, this is a better example. They got absolutely smoked. Jonathan Taylor, 71 yards. DJ Giddens, 41 yards. They were giving up 41 yards to a rookie running back, right? Who was the backup? This Dolphins defense, not great. And this Bills offense is freaking awesome, right? And just because Josh Allen is a great player doesn't mean you have to take him on the over. You've got to think about, is this game script going to favor Josh Allen, right? Josh Allen's the kind of player that if he wanted to, he could easily get 300 yards in the game. He just needs to pass the ball 35 times and he would get that, right? He's a very solid player. He could win this game just passing the ball on his own. But the Bills aren't going to do that. They're going to play safe, solid football. All they need is to get the win. They don't need Josh Allen to hit his over on passing yards, right? So we're taking Josh Allen on the under, combining that with Khalil Shakir on the under, and then James Cook right here on the over. So this should give you 9x. That would be awesome if it does. So go ahead and lock these three in, and you guys can use a very similar strategy. Quarterback, receiver, and running back on the under, over, or switch around, right? So like another example that I'd love to show you guys, right? Let me just see if I can find it right here. Where is this at? Okay, I just scrolled right past him. Right here with Spencer Rattler, right? Spencer Rattler, and then his number one target recently has actually been Juwan Johnson, so we're going to go ahead and take him there. And then if we can see if we can get Kamara right here on the under, this is paying you guys 9.5x, right? So this is basically the same idea, right? We're taking one guy on the under right here, the running back on the under, saying they're not going to run the ball a lot, but they are going to pass the ball quite a bit. So we're taking the quarterback and the receiver on the over. And in this case, if we look at Kamara's last 2 games, he did run the ball quite a bit against the Niners for 99 yards. But that was a game, let's remember, that was a game where the Saints were only 3.5-point underdogs, and they were actually leading for quite a bit of that game towards the end, which means the Saints were running the ball quite a bit. Of course, they ended up losing, but they were running the ball a good amount. Let's look at how it did in the first game. They were losing this game against the Cardinals from the kickoff, right? They were not going to win this game, which means they knew out the gate they were going to have to pass the ball. And then they got down a couple scores. They had to pass the ball some more. Kamara didn't run the ball a lot. And then what happened with Spencer Rattler, he's actually been greening this out, right? Green right here. So he's been doing pretty well, right? I don't know why there's previous lines on here. Is Spencer Rattler not a rookie? No, that one's on me. He was a rookie last year, but he, of course, didn't really play that much towards the end of the year. He just got put in at the end. But yeah, Spencer Rattler, what I'm trying to say, he's been hitting this over. So this is another trio that I like. And what we're doing here is we're correlating the same team based off of game script, right? So this time you're getting 9.5x. This is the exact kind of thing that you guys can do on PrizePicks to just set you up for the weekend. All we need is for the taco play to cash. And then you guys have a trio and you just need to go ahead and watch one game of football. Hopefully the Saints play a good pass-heavy game script. And if they play a pass-heavy game script, good news is both the wide receiver and quarterback are going on the over, and the running back likely going on the under. So that's a great strategy you guys can use on PrizePicks. Let me know if you like this type of video. Drop a comment, drop a like. Let's try to get back up to more and more views on these videos because I'm trying to make you guys money. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.